Hello. The world has entered a new era of economic warfare. Countries are no longer using only armies, missiles, or tanks to pressure each other. They are using tariffs, sanctions, payment system, supply chains, rare earth, semiconductors, and energy choke points. For example, America can use the dollar-based financial system to sanction the rivals. China can use its control over the rare earth refining to pressure the countries that depend on those materials. And Iran showed how even a smaller power can shake the world economy by disrupting the Strait of Hormuz. The key idea is simple. Economic connection that once created growth can now become weapons of power. Globalization used to be built on efficiency. Countries traded freely, companies built global supply chains, and the dollar helped money move across the borders. But that same integration is now being used as a leverage. Tariffs are used to pressure trading partners. Sanctions can cut countries off from finance. Export controls can block access to critical technology like advanced AI chips, and supply chains can now become vulnerabilities. A clear example is rare earth. China refines roughly 90% of the world's rare earths, which are used in EV, defense equipment, electronics, and clean energy. So the world is moving from interdependence for growth to interdependence as risk. But not every dependence is a true choke point. A real choke point has three features. First, one country or a close group of allies must control a dominant market share. Second, there must be no quick substitute. And third, the weapon must hurt the target much more than it hurt the country using it. The US dollar is used in nearly 90% of the foreign exchange transactions, giving America huge financial power. Nvidia controls more than 80% of the AI chip market, which gives US leverage in advanced technology. China refines roughly 90% of rare earth, making more countries dependent on it. And around 20% of global oil and LNG flows through the Strait of Hormuz. The lesson is clear. Countries should weaponize real dependence, not ordinary trade links. Economic weapons must be used carefully. Sanctions, export controls, and tariffs can serve different goals. Sometimes they are used to name and shame. Sometimes they are used to weaken a rival's access to a technology or capital. And sometimes they are used to force a change in behavior. For example, US export controls on advanced chips are meant to slow China's progress in AI and semiconductors. But if the goal is to deter China from attacking Taiwan, America may want to hold some leverage in reserve instead of using everything immediately. That is why objective matters. If the goal is deterrence, keep leverage ready. If the goal is weakening a rival, act early and decisively. The danger is blind escalation. If America uses sanctions too often or without a clear plan, rivals will adapt, markets may panic, and US leverage may weaken over the time. Every time America weaponizes a choke point, other countries look for escape routes. After America sanctioned Russia, China learned a lesson. One day, Washington could do the same thing to Beijing. So China started building alternatives, including CIPS, its cross-border payment system. It has also pushed the digital yuan and platforms like Mbridge to reduce dependence on Western financial infrastructure. Europe is also trying to become less exposed. It is discussing a digital euro, building sovereign cloud systems, and trying to reduce dependence on American technology in sensitive areas. Even allies worries that American system could one day be used against them. So overusing dollar power can create a risk premium around the American infrastructure. The message is simple. Preserve leverage by using it carefully and coordinating with the allies. The United States also need to defend the right vulnerabilities. It does not need to bring every supply chain home. That would be expensive and inefficient. Instead, it should build backup supply in the most critical sectors. The rare earth, pharmaceuticals, batteries, clean energy, and semiconductors. For example, when China restricted the rare earth exports, companies such as Ford faced supply problems, and defense firms had to search for alternatives. That show why rare earths are not just another commodity, they are strategic vulnerability. But the goal should not be a total replacement of China. The goal should be just enough diversification so China cannot use monopoly control as a coercion. This works best through allies, the US, Europe, Japan, Canada, Australia, and other partners building trusted supply chains together. A new economic order is being built. One path is chaotic fragmentation, where every country acts alone, trade breaks apart, and the cost rise. That is a dangerous path, closer to disorder of the 1930s. A better path is a coordinated economic security. That means trusted supply chain, shared industrial policy, coordinated sanctions, and stronger alliances. For example, a critical mineral alliance between US, Europe, Japan, and other partners could reduce dependence on China without destroying the global trade. The United States must fight the economic wars with discipline. It must map the real choke point, use leverage sparingly, coordinate with allies, prepare for escalation, and protect prosperity at home. The final message is clear. Economic power is still one of the America's greatest strength, but if it is used carelessly, it can destroy the very system that gives America power. Thank you.